morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Priscilla. It's good to be home. Hey, Stephanie. Yeah, so I tried to change the thing to say we're back to reading Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes, but it didn't take, and it still says we're reading Toxic. But thank you, Roxy. But we're reading Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes today. Don't worry, you guys. I don't know why it didn't change to say that, but we are. So sorry for any confusion, but that is what is happening. We will continue the Toxic book, just not today. It is good though. Oh yes, yeah, our area is okay. Hey Liz, hey. Our area is safe for now. I will keep you all updated, but thank you for asking. Good morning. Hey Mary, I feel like I haven't seen you in a hot minute. How is everyone? How's everyone doing? Did anyone do anything interesting while I was gone? Anything interesting at all you want to tell me about? Hey Jen! Hey Samantha, I got some mail from you yesterday, Jen. I haven't opened it yet, but I assume I know what it is. So hey Amanda! Guess who's back again. So I want to tell you guys something really interesting. It's a new development. Are you all ready for a new development? Someone has discovered screaming. So let's see how today goes. Because we discovered screaming. Yeah. Oh, it's super fun. Yeah. Not like crying. We're not crying, just like screaming. Just like, ah! Or cuts into both. Oh. Yes, it's a tough phase. Yes. Love that for me. We're practicing our communication. It's not crying. There's a big difference. It might have been, yes, that's what her dad thinks. Her dad thinks she was influenced by the cousins. Yeah. Because they can scream, and now we scream. Isn't that fun? Because, see, we live in a very quiet household, as you can see / hear, but her cousins live in a household of 4 kids, so there's a lot of screaming in their house. So now we scream too. Isn't that cute? We learned to scream from our cousins. So it's going well for mommy and daddy the last couple days. And guess who else it went for? The airplane. It went well for the airplane because she learned that if she screams, we have to react quickly because there were so many people on the airplane. Happy was just told you I was type 2. Oh, Mary, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. So we were on an airplane and we were trying to be polite to the other people. So, you know, of course, the minute that she would scream, we would pop up and try to, you know, dance around or whatever. So she learned that screamies gets reactions. It's a bad lesson to teach your child, but when you're on an airplane, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So we did a whole lot of this on the airplane. A whole lot of this. She did not do any screamies on the way there. She slept on the way there. On the way back, we screamed. So anyway, that's my update. That's what I did while we were gone. What did you guys do? What did you guys do while I was gone? She's the smartest baby ever raised. She is taking one for the airplane. Yeah, I took one. I do have to tell you though, the woman sitting in front of us on the airplane, just bashed on me. The woman sitting in front of us on the airplane halfway through turned around and said, and I quote, "She has the most beautiful voice." And I said, "Oh, thank you. Sorry if she's, you know," and she's like, "Even her cry is adorable." And I was like, "What?" A stranger said that. So yeah, that happened. Doom scrolling, so much doom scrolling. Yeah. She gave me 50-50 on the airplane. She did. She gave us 50-50 on the airplane. It's on the way there. It was a breeze. No problem. You do have a beautiful voice. You have the most beautiful voice and the most beautiful face. Hey, Amanda. Amina, sorry. The one's not wrong. Yeah, she has the cutest voice. She said, even when she screams, it's adorable. I was like, oh. Well, I'm glad you think so. I bet the rest of the airplane doesn't think so, but cool. Cleaned the house and worked. house is already, yeah, I feel that, Amanda, I feel that. Lay your head down. So someone woke up really early this morning because of jet lag, and then someone decided to take a nap right after that. So who's been up since 5 a.m. after pumping at 1 a.m.? That would be mommy. So I'm hoping she falls asleep again now because she's been up for about an hour and a half, and she only had a half an hour nap, so she really needs a nap. It looks like she is going to fall asleep. She hasn't yet, but it looks like she will. I would like her to. That would be great for me. Yes. We're doing a whole lot of very serious rocking right now, as you can see. Oh, yes. I started my baby wearing class yesterday. I love the understanding people who make things. Yes, the understanding people were great. The person who was in our row last time, she looks bigger, but she's really not, I promise, Sloth. Okay, so on our flight there, the person who was sitting next to me could not have been better. What a dream seat partner. It was hey Brittany, it was a gentleman who was not only a Disney fan headed to Disney World, but a member of the LGBTQIA community who was just like, I have nieces and nephews, I love babies. You know what I mean? Like, what a gem. Perfect person to sit next to for our first flight. Why are you bonking your head, honey? Let's make a little better pillow. How about that? Mommy will make a better pillow. Okay. So I usually sit in the middle when we fly because Secret Husband has really long legs and I want him to be able to stretch out. But before we started the flight on the way there, he told me, whoever gets on the plane, if you don't feel comfortable breastfeeding next to the person who's on the other side, tell me and we'll switch when they go to get in. But this guy gets on and I saw him coming and I was like, we're going to be best buds. It's not a problem. I'm going to be able to sit next to this guy and we're going to be fine because like he was super chill, right? Are you asleep? Are you almost asleep? Are you asleep or are you almost asleep? Almost asleep. So I was like, okay, this is awesome. And I sat in the middle. We had a lovely time. He was a gem. He watched Disney movies the whole time. She smiled at him occasionally. And it was great. No problem. We talked about Disney stuff. Easy peasy. Hey, Susan, thank you. This time, so yesterday we were flying here and my husband said the same thing. He said, hey, we're on first. You're in the middle right now, but if you see this person coming and you don't feel comfortable sitting next to them to breastfeed through the whole flight, why don't we just swap? And you just tap me and we'll swap. And I was like, okay, it should be fine. Like, don't worry about it, whatever. This guy walks up to be our seatmate, and the first thing he says before anything else happens is, that's one of those babies that doesn't cry, I hope, right? And I was like, and as we stood up, my husband just grabbed my arm a little like this and went like this. So Secret Husband sat in the middle instead, and the guy argued with him over the armrest. And Secret Husband was like, the middle person gets the armrest. And he was like, I don't think that's true. And my husband was like, okay. Like, okay. He cursed us because she screamed the whole time. And my husband took glee in the fact that she screamed in his face. But I did not sit next to that man because, you know, obviously I wasn't gonna breastfeed next to that. Yeah, so that's my biggest fear about my upcoming flight with my kid. You know what, Susan, just roll with it. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Before you got on, I was telling everybody about the person I sat next to on the way who was a gem, and the person in front of me who, even though she was screaming, turned around to say, she has the most beautiful voice even when she cries. So Susan, don't worry, most people are super cool. It was this one guy. There was one point when people were waiting in line to like get up to the bathroom, and we were in the middle, so I don't know why there was like a whole bunch of people all huddled around us. And I looked at her and I was like, okay, now's your chance. Talk to everyone while they're here. They all laughed. They all smiled at her. You know, they were fine. So most people are going to be fine. You spent the extra money. Yeah, ours was shorter and we didn't spring for anything more. But like, oh, we're out. Yes, 8:38. Killing it. 10-hour flight's quite a bit more. I love coffee. I need it so bad. But don't worry, Susan. You know, it is what it is. And there will be other kids and there will be other everything. Need to post more slime videos. Yeah, you should. Absolutely. I completely agree. Definitely post more slime videos when you have the chance. Yeah. Hey, I would, if on a flight, 100% bring headphones that are noise canceling if on a flight. Yes, 100%. Same. Hey, Isabella, honestly, most people understand. Yeah, most people understand. Yeah, I wouldn't be too worried, Susan. The thing of it is like kids get to exist in this world also. They're people too. Yeah, you don't know who's on your flight, kids or otherwise. And the thing of it is, she didn't even, like, she cried like one bit. Yeah, me either, Susan, not at all. I just like immediately apologized for everything. She didn't cry very much, like for like 1 or 2 seconds, like when she was a little bit scared, she cried a little bit. And then occasionally, if she was bored, she would go like, ah, you know, like that. And then we would change her to do something else. So we didn't like leave her making sounds at people. Hey, Jamantha. And stuff like that. So like, you know, we weren't being like purposefully annoying or anything like that. But yeah, I saw a video in the wild referencing your slime tutorials and I was like, what is it? Was it a Broadway thing? Was it a Broadway video? Because they called those slime tutorials to get around the bootlegging rules. Isn't that funny? Probably super chill. The guy was manifesting issues. He really was. That was the thing. I was like, bro, like if you hadn't said anything, she probably would have been quiet the whole time. Did Secret Baby get a new tripod? We did. I haven't opened it yet. I'm using the one from the slime room right now. You just never leave her making noises. No, I don't. I don't ever leave her making noises. I always talk to her and try to get her chill. I don't ever leave her just crying, if you will. It was that theory that a current play was leaving them up to promote the show. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that, Jen. I would. If I were in charge of marketing for a show, I would. Because it's not the same. And most people want to see the real thing. We're sleeping. Yes. So anyway, overall, flying with the baby, not too bad. On the way there, I definitely had a panic attack about it. But on the way back, we were chill. So, you know. Now let's see if we can get her to sleep for at least an hour. She needs it. She needs it. Yeah, broke the tripod, got a new tripod, took the baby to Disney World. Hey, Naisa. I am posting some pictures of our Disney World trip on my Instagram if anyone likes watching babies be enthralled with, thank you, Stephanie, we need it. If anyone likes watching babies be enthralled with princesses, that's on my page right now because Rapunzel was her favorite. Rapunzel really like killed it in the baby department, I have to say. We went to a lot of princess meet and greets and she loves princess dresses. She kept like looking at the sparkles on the dresses like this, and so the princesses kept like lifting them up for her to show them to her. And that was really, hey Cass, really, really fun. And then she fell asleep for a second right before Rapunzel's, and so I was like, oh, we'll just take a sleepy picture. But she woke up right as Rapunzel was there, and like Rapunzel started making silly faces at her and playing peekaboo and just won her over from here to doomsday. Cinderella called her the cutest little pumpkin in the patch. Very sweet. And Aurora also played peekaboo with her, but I can't post those pictures because her face is in them. But the ones of Rapunzel, we just happen to be positioned properly where her face isn't in them, so I was able to post them. She is the cutest pumpkin in the patch. Really quickly before we start, can I tell you guys how you know she's the cutest, sweetest baby? The princesses, did you tell Jasmine she's wrong? We didn't meet Jasmine. But I did tell her that her bedroom is Aurora themed. I get my first open plum outside. Oh, Mary, that's amazing. Which one did you get? Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. What I was gonna say was, okay, so we took pictures with Cinderella, was great. And we took pictures with Aurora and it was great. And then as we're leaving, I had already scanned my Magic Band to get the photos and everything. And the princesses were like whispering together to their attendant, which I was like, and they were like, excuse me, before you go, can we get a picture all together with her? And I was like, sure. And they were like, come over here. And the attendant blocked the like official camera because they're not supposed to be in pictures together, the two princesses. And they just let us use our camera so that she could have pictures with Cinderella and Aurora together. That's super rare. So she got like real special photos that she won't recognize until she's probably 3 or 4, but when she does see it, she'll know that she was special. And they asked for it. We didn't ask them because I knew that it's against the rules. I would never have asked. But the attendant blocked the official camera so that like it wasn't visible that they did that. It was very cute. Cause like they have automated cameras now. It's not like a person taking pictures in there. It's like a thing in the wall that just like flashes pictures nonstop while you're with the princesses, which I think is great. But you know, so anyway, that was very sweet. And then she went and she met Rapunzel and she met Tiana and she met all the Winnie the Pooh characters. And I think that's it. Those are all her characters that she met. She slept through Eeyore, but we have the cutest picture of Eeyore. Oh, you got the toddler lark. Which pattern, Mary? Ooh, that's exciting. Kid lark. I want to put a kid in a lark. She did. She loved Winnie the Pooh and she loved Piglet. She slept through Tigger and Eeyore. It does completely, Amanda. And also because it's like in the wall, you can't even see it. It's great. Everyone just like acts natural, you know? I got the new one, I got that one for my die. That's amazing. We'll match. I'm supposed to get that in the mail today and I'll be able to try it on. I've never used one before. She met Tiana and Pooh, yep, among others. She was really tired when she met Tiana, so she was kind of like, who are you? But that's because she was just waking up, so she was a little like, but Tiana was very sweet. It's MEHDAI, Mary, and it's like a part wrap, part buckle. So it's like a half and half carrier. My kids have fake smiles for camera, so I need it. Yeah, Secret Baby doesn't have fake smiles yet. I'm sure they will come, but for the moment, she has only, was she scared of the character? Not at all. Not a lick of scared. She just like, was like, oh, cool. Do you know what she loved the most, you guys? Of everything that we did, her favorite thing was the Finding Nemo show. Who's a Broadway girl? This kid. She was like this in the Finding Nemo show. And we have pictures of her grinning. She could not take her eyes off of them. She listened to the music. She didn't cry once. She loved the whole thing. She is, yeah, a Med-Eye rap, exactly. She's a Broadway baby, born and bred. She loved it. And then the next day we took her to the aquarium and she was like, big fish, little fish. You could see it in her face. She was like, because Nemo is like obviously human size in the musical version, and then you go to the aquarium and Nemo's like this big, and she was like, Mama, I'm confused. How big is Nemo supposed to be? It was very funny though. If you guys could see her face, you would see how funny it is. Anyway, I know I've used a lot of time telling you about all this, but we should read. We're on chapter 15, so we should take advantage of sleepy time and read while we can. So just as a tiny recap, yeah, she loves shows. The Wonder in the, oh, it's an absolute wonder, Ray. I mean, totally, just everybody who saw the show with us was watching her, and they were all like, I've never seen a baby track characters with their eyes like that. She was watching live people on the stage going like this as they went across the stage. Like, we have a video of her watching it. Hey, Brittany. We have a video of her watching it, and she would not take her eyes off, especially when Crush came on, the giant turtle. She was like, giant turtle. Yes, chat time is important for all of us. Okay, so as a off subject, but I'm obsessed with Hercules on a Roll. It's a great slam. If I could get the clay again, I'll remake it. It's hard to get the supplies now, you guys. It's getting not great. Like, I hope things get better after the taco thing. You guys all heard about the taco situation, right? But like, I think maybe it'll reverse a little bit, but right now I checked prices and nothing's reversed yet. So right now we're still paying the higher prices. So Herc has 2 different clays in it, but the one that's the hardest to find is actually, believe it or not, Model Magic, which is like shocking. It's not that Model Magic is hard to find, because that's even sold in Targets and Michael's. It's the color of the Model Magic. To make the bread color, I need whites, yellows, and oranges, and they've been routinely sold out because people aren't restocking right now. So it's not that the clay itself is hard to find. It's literally sold everywhere. But the colors, you have some Daiso on the way. Yes, it should be. I think it's here. I think it got here. I think I have a box from you from last night. Such a smart baby. I know, she's such a smart baby. I mean, I'm kind of projecting a little bit, right, Cass? Like, I don't know for sure that it was the size difference that was causing her facial expressions, but like when she saw the things on the stage, she was like this. And then when we went to the aquarium, we have some pictures of her like, huh. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming it's about the size. I don't really know because she can't talk to us yet, but it is funny to imagine, right? Yes, I have done that before. It does change the texture a little bit, Avery. Not so detrimentally, but I have done it. Like, you guys saw the slime that I made. Do you guys remember over Christmas I made cookie butter latte? Hey, Roxy, cookie butter latte was made with paint, and the color is pretty close because cookie butter and bread are similar colors. So she is extremely vocal. We got luck of the draw for sure. My drill pads came in amazing. I can't wait to see them on. I got so you guys know I have the pink lark. I got the purple drill pads to go with it. Oh, by the way, glad you're back in LA, Miami with the event. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's here in LA. It's there. It's all over the place. I will say, I mean, like, I know Newsom has his issues, but I'm standing with him 100%. 100% standing with Newsom. As I think pretty much anyone with a brain is in this situation. Like, he's done things that are not the best in the past. Who hasn't? They weren't that bad in the grand scheme of things. Nothing like this, obviously. Like, during COVID, he went to his golf course or something like that, which not great, but compared to this, not that big of a deal. Honorary auntie update, we find out, ooh, that's very exciting. Oh, in 1 month? Okay, that's not that long. LA has peaceful protests. LA has peaceful protests on our side, but LAPD and all of the other people, they have been very violent on that side. I have a friend who lives in downtown LA, and she said it's crazy. So it's not that the people on our side are causing any issues, it's the others. And LAPD, as many of you will know if you're anywhere around my age, has a history of violence, a very history of it. He has some not great policies, but at least he's standing up to them. Yes, yeah. And his not great policies are exactly what you're saying. They're not great, but they're not nearly as detrimental as this. You know what I mean? So, like, and I hate to even say this, but sometimes you have to pick the lesser of two evils. And if rallying behind Newsom is the lesser of two evils for the moment, then of course that's what we must do. Did you see a video of the police? I did not, Cass. I did not see that. But LAPD just has a really sordid history of very bad behavior. So 2 reporters, geez, beyond instigating, Amanda. It's I've seen some crazy videos. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, Roxy. Yes, 100%, Brittany. It's very similar. Yeah, I mean, if you think about the Rodney King riots from the 90s. Yeah, I did hear that they were shooting rubber, you-know-whats. Unnecessary. It's unnecessary, given the type of protests that are happening here. They're very peaceful, and they're very legal. Peaceful and legal. That's the thing. Like, you can't, I mean, we have the right to assembly. We do, it's in the law, so you can't do this. But you know what I really am proud of? I'm proud of Newsom for calling Trump's, I shouldn't have said that word. I'm proud of Newsom for calling their bluff and saying, like, hey, if you want to do this, you don't need our tax dollars, because they absolutely need our tax dollars. California pays for a lot of other states, so they need us real bad. Our taxes pay for the Constitution. Yes, exactly, Jen, exactly. It's in the Constitution, the right to assembly. So anyway, let's get back to reading a book that will be somewhat reminiscent of what we're going through in a weird way. Just a reminder, me too, Cass, me too. What happened at the end of all the blue states fund the lacking red? Yes, and California, sadly, most of all, because we have the most people that make money. Like, by per capita, we have the most people who pay a high portion of taxes. It's just a fact, even more so than New York. So Good, as they should, Brittany, as they should. I would love to not have to pay federal taxes. That would be great. I would be sitting pretty. Yeah, California is the 8th largest economy in the world, not in the country, in the world. It's ridiculous to think of that, right? I mean, insane. So in the last chapter we read, they turned on their television and they saw that Sejanus, the boy from District 2, the one that I used the Southern accent with, was in the arena. And his mom is in the Snow's apartment when this happens. So that is the last thing we experienced. So now we're going to read chapter 15 and see what the heck is up. The moment Ma said it, Coriolanus knew that she was right. Perhaps only a mother would make the connection, that gloom, but with her prompting, he did recognize Sejanus. Something about the posture, the slight stoop, the line of the forehead, the white academy uniform shirt glowed faintly in the dark, and he could almost make out the bright yellow mentor badge still hanging by the lanyard on his chest. How Sejanus had gotten into the arena, he had no idea. A capital boy, a mentor no less, might not have drawn too much attention at the entrance, where you could buy fried dough, pink lemonade, where you could join the crowd in watching the games on the screen. There, had he merely blended in, or had he even used his minor celebrity to set suspicions at bay? And well, my tribute's finished, so I might as well enjoy myself. Maybe he posed for pictures, chatted up the peacekeepers. Maybe he slipped in somehow while their backs were turned. Who would think that he would want to enter the arena, and why on earth had he? On screen, a shadowy Sejanus knelt, set down a parcel, and rolled Marcus onto his back. He did his best to straighten the legs, to fold the arms onto the chest, but the limbs had grown stiff and defied arrangement. Coriolanus couldn't tell what was happening next, something with a parcel, but then Sejanus rose to his feet, and he held his hand over the body. This is what we did at the zoo, thought Coriolanus. He remembered when, after Arcane's death, he caught a glimpse of Sejanus sprinkling something over the dead tribute's body. "That's your son in there. What's he doing?" asked the grandmama, completely aghast. "Well, he's putting breadcrumbs on the body," said Ma, "so Marcus has food on his journey." "His journey where?" asked the grandmama. "He's dead." "Back to wherever he came from," said Ma. "It's what we do back home when someone dies." Coriolanus couldn't help feeling embarrassed for her. If you ever needed proof of the district's backwardness, there you had it. Primitive people with their primitive customs. How much bread had they wasted on this nonsense? Oh, no, he starved to death. Somebody get the bread? He had a sinking feeling that his supposed friendship was now going to come back to haunt him. And as if on cue, the phone rang. "Well, is the whole city up?" wondered Grandmama. "Excuse me." Coriolanus crossed to the phone in the foyer. "Hello?" he said into the receiver, hoping it was a wrong number. "Mr. Snow, it's Dr. Gall." Coriolanus felt his insides contract. "Are you near a screen?" Yeah, just got home, actually," he answered. He was trying to buy time. "Oh, yep, there it is. My family's watching." "What is going on with your friend?" she asked, and Coriolanus turned his head away from the gathering and lowered his voice. He's not really that." "Nonsense, you've been thick as thieves," she said. "Help me give away my sandwiches, Coriolanus. Empty seat next to me, Sejanus. When I asked Casca what classmates he was close to, yours was the only name that he could think of." His civility to Sejanus had been obviously misread. Really, there were hardly more than acquaintances. "Dr. Gall, if you would just let me explain—" "I don't have time for explanations. Right now, the plinth brat is loose in the arena with a pack of wolves, and if they see him, they will end him on the spot." She turned to speak to someone else. "No, don't cut away abruptly. That will only draw attention. Just make it as dark as you can. Make it look natural. A slow blackout, as if a cloud has drifted across the moon." She was back in the next breath. "You're a smart boy. What message will that send to the audience? The damage will be considerable. We must remedy this situation at once." Yeah, you could send some peacekeepers in, Coriolanus said. And have him bolt like a rabbit? She scoffed. Imagine that for a moment. The peacekeepers trying. I know. I tried to change it, Nikki. It wouldn't change, but hey, welcome. Imagine that for a moment. The peacekeepers trying to chase him down in the dark? No, we will have to lure him out, and as uneventfully as possible. So we need people that he cares about. He can't stand his father, has no siblings, no other friends, so that leaves you and his mother. We're trying to locate her right now. Coriolanus felt his heart sink. She's right here, he admitted. So much for his acquaintance's defense. Well, done and done. I want you both here at the arena in 20 minutes. More, and it will be me serving you with a demerit, not high bottom, and you can kiss any chance of a prize goodbye. And with that, she hung up. On his television, Coriolanus could see the image that had darkened. He could barely make out Sejanus's figure now at all. Hey, Mrs. Plinth, that was the head game maker, and she would like you to meet her at the arena to collect Sejanus, and I am to accompany you. He could hardly admit more without giving the grandmama a heart attack. Is he in trouble? She asked, wide-eyed. With the Capitol? Coriolanus found it strange that she would be more worried that the Capitol would do something than an arena full of armed tributes at this point, but maybe she had a reason for worry after what had happened to Marcus. No, they're just concerned with his well-being. Shouldn't be long, but don't wait up, he told Tigress and the grandmama. As fast as he could, short of carrying her, he moved Mrs. Plinth out the door, down the elevator, and through the lobby. Her car rolled up soundlessly, and the driver, most likely an Avox, nodded at his request to be taken to the arena. We're rather in a hurry, he told the driver, and the car sped up immediately, gliding through the empty streets. If it was possible to cover the distance in 20 minutes, they would do it. Mrs. Plinth clutched her handbag and stared out the window at the deserted city. First time I saw the Capitol, it was at night, just like this. Yeah, said Coriolanus, only to be polite. Honestly, who cared? His entire future was on the line because of this woman's wayward son, and one only had to question the parenting of a boy who thought that breaking into the arena would solve anything. Sejanus sat right where you are, saying, "It'll be all right, Ma. It'll be okay." He was trying to calm me down when we both knew it was a total disaster, said Mrs. Plinth. But he was so brave, so good, only thinking of his Ma. Must have been a big change for you all. What was it with the Plinths anyway, to be constantly turning advantage into tragedy? You only needed to take a cursory glance at the interior of this car, the tooled leather, the upholstered seats, the bar with its crystal bottles of gem-colored liquids, to know that they were among the most fortunate people in Panem. Yeah, friends and family cut us off, Mrs. Plinth went on. No new ones to be made here. Strabo, that's his pa, that is, still thinks it was the right thing to do. No kind of future in two. His way of protecting us, his way of keeping Sejanus out of the games. Ironic, really, given the circumstances. Coriolanus tried to redirect her. Now, I don't know what Dr. Gall has in mind, but I imagine that she wants your help getting him out of there. I don't know if I can get him out of there, she said. Him's so upset and all. I can try, but he'll have to think it's the right thing to do. The right thing to do? Coriolanus realized that this was what had always defined Sejanus's actions, his determination to do the right thing, that insistence, that way, for instance, that he would defy Dr. Gall when the rest of them were just trying to get by, was another reason why he had alienated people. Frankly, he could be insufferable with those superior little comments of his, but playing on that might be the way to manipulate him. As the car pulled up to the entrance of the arena, Coriolanus saw an effort had to be made to conceal the crisis. Only a dozen or so peacekeepers were even present, and a handful of game makers. The refreshment booths had shut down. The dazed crowd had dispersed earlier, so there was little to draw curious spectators. Stepping out, he noticed how quickly the temperature had dropped since his walk home. In the back of a van, the Capitol News monitor displayed a split screen with the actual feed of the arena next to the darkened version going out to the public. Dr. Gall, Dean Highbottom, and a few peacekeepers were gathered around it. As Coriolanus walked with Mrs. Plinth, he made out Sejanus kneeling next to Marcus's body, still as a statue. "At least you're punctual," said Dr. Gall. "Mrs. Plinth, I presume?" Yes, said Mrs. Plinth, a quiver in her voice. I'm sorry if Sejanus has caused any inconvenience. He's a really good boy, really. It just, he takes things to heart." No one could have accused him of being indifferent, Dr. Gall agreed. She turned to Coriolanus. "Any idea how we might rescue your best friend, Mr. Snow?" Coriolanus ignored the barb and examined the screen. "What's he doing?" "Just kneeling there, looks like," said Dean Highbottom, "possibly in some kind of shock." "Too risky," said Sorry, I missed a line. "He appears calm. Maybe you could just send the peacekeepers in now without startling him," suggested Coriolanus. "Too risky," said Dr. Gall. What about putting his mother on the speaker? Or maybe she could talk into a bullhorn," Coriolanus continued. "If you can darken the screen, surely you could manipulate the audio as well." "On the broadcast, but in the arena, we'd alert every tribute to the fact that there's an unarmed Capitol boy in their midst," said Dean Highbottom, and Coriolanus began feeling bad. "Oh, what do you propose, then?" "We think that someone he knows needs to slip in unobtrusively as possible and coax him out," said Dr. Gall. "Namely, you." "Oh, no," burst out Mrs. Plinth with a surprising sharpness. "No, it cannot be Coriolanus. The last thing we need to do is put another child in danger. I'll do it. I'll go in." Coriolanus appreciated the offer, but knew that the chances of this were slim. With her red, swollen eyes and wobbly high heels, she did not inspire confidence as a covert operator. "What we need is someone who can make a run for it if necessary. Mr. Snow is the man for the job." Dr. Gall gestured to some peacekeepers, and Coriolanus found himself being suited up in a body of armor for the arena. "This vest should protect your vital organs. Here's your pepper spray and a flash unit that will temporarily blind your enemies should you meet any." He looked at the small bottle of pepper spray and flashed the unit. What about a gun, or maybe at least a knife?" "Since you're not trained, it seems safer to use this. Remember, you're not there to do any damage. You're in there to bring your friend out as quickly as possible and as quietly as possible," instructed Dr. Gall. Another student, or even the Coriolanus of a couple of weeks ago, would have protested the situation, insisted on calling a parent or a guardian, pleaded, but after the snake attack on Clemencia and the aftermath of the bombing and Marcus's torture, he knew that it would be pointless. If Dr. Gall decided that he was going into the arena, that's where he would go, even if his prize was not at stake. He was just like the subjects of her other experiments, students or tributes, of no more consequence than the avoxes in the cages, powerless to object. "You can't do this. He's just a boy. Please, let me call my husband," begged Mrs. Plinth, and Dean Highbottom gave Coriolanus a little smile. "Oh, he'll be all right. It takes a lot to kill a Snow." Had this whole idea been the Dean's? Had he seen a neat shortcut to the ultimate goal of destroying Coriolanus' future? At any rate, he seemed deaf to Ma's entreaties. With peacekeepers at either elbow for his safety or to prevent him from bolting, he didn't know, he crossed to the arena. He had little recollection of being carried out after the bombing. Perhaps they'd gone to another exit, but now he could see the significant damage done to the main entrance. One of the two great doors had been entirely blown away, leaving a wide hole framed with twisted metal. Besides the guard, little had been done to secure this area other than placing a few rows of waist-high concrete barriers across the opening. Sejanus wouldn't have had much trouble getting past those if there had been a decent distraction, and there had been a bustle, the carnival, most of the day.
If the peacekeepers had been concerned about rebel activity, they would have been focused on someone targeting the crowd. Still, it seemed a little too relaxed here. What if the tributes tried to make a break for it again? Coriolanus and his escort wove their way through the barriers and into the lobby, which had taken multiple hits. The few unbroken electrical bulbs around the admission and concession booths showed layers of plaster dust coating chunks of the ceiling and floor, toppled pillars and fallen beams. To reach the turnstiles required navigating the debris, and again he could see how Sejanus might have crossed it undetected, with little patience and a bit of luck. The turnstiles on the far right side had been targeted, leaving gnarled and melted metal shards and open access. Here, the peacekeepers had built the first real fortification, installing a temporary set of bars encased in barbed wire and half a dozen armed guards. The damaged turnstiles were still an effective blockade, as they did not allow re-entry.
So he had a token? Asked Coriolanus.
He had a token, confirmed an old peacekeeper who seemed to be in command.
Caught us off guard. We're not really looking for people breaking into the arena during the games, only out.
He produced a token from his pocket.
Here, this one's for you.
Coriolanus turned the disc in his fingers and made no move to the turnstiles.
How did he think he would get out? I don't think he thought he'd get out, said the peacekeeper. And how will I get out? Asked Coriolanus.
This plan seemed dicey at best.
There, the peacekeeper pointed to the bars. We can pull the barbed wire and tilt the bars forward, creating a big opening enough for you to crawl under.
And you can do that quickly?
He said doubtfully. Yeah, we've got you on camera. We'll start moving the bars when you're successfully bringing him out, the peacekeeper assured him.
And if I can't convince him to come with me?
Coriolanus asked. We have no instructions if that happens.
The peacekeeper shrugged.
I guess you have to stay in there until the mission is complete.
A cold sweat bathed Coriolanus's body as the words registered. He would not be allowed back out without Sejanus. He looked through the turnstile at the end of the passage where the barricade had been erected under the scoreboard, the one that he had seen Lumia, Cirque, and Tesley scampering in and out of earlier in the games.
What about that over there? Oh, that's for show, really? It blocks the view of the lobby, of the street. Can't put that thing on camera.
The peacekeeper explained.
But, you won't have trouble getting through it.
And neither would the tributes, Coriolanus thought. He ran his thumb over the slick surface of the token.
Look, we've got you covered up to the barricade, the peacekeeper said.
So you'll end any tributes who attack me? Coriolanus clarified. Hey, Nikki. Oh, swim lessons. That's exciting. For which one?
Oh, I assume Jonathan, right? That was a silly question. Jonathan swim lessons? Probably.
And then, let's see, sorry.
Yeah, we'll scare him off anyway, said the peacekeeper. Don't worry, we've got your back.
Excellent, said Coriolanus, not at all convinced. He steeled himself and jammed the token into the slot, and then he pushed the metal arms.
Enjoy the show,
Coriolanus said as the turnstile reminded him, sounding 10 times louder in the stillness of the night. One of the enjoy the show, the turnstile reminded him. So it was the turnstile talking. One of the peacekeepers chuckled at the sound. Coriolanus made for the wall on the right and walked forward as swiftly and silently as he could. The red emergency lights, his only illumination, suffused the passageway with a soft, bloody glow. He pressed his lips tightly together, controlling his breathing through his nose. Right, left, nothing. No one stirred. Perhaps, as Lucky had suggested, the tributes had all bedded down for the night. He paused for a moment at the barricade, and just as the peacekeeper had said, it was a sham. Flimsy layers of barbed wire mounted on frames, rickety wooden structures, concrete slabs arranged to block the view, not imprison the tributes. Probably there hadn't been enough time to make a real one, or perhaps it had been deemed unnecessary with the bars and the peacekeepers behind him. As it was, he only had to wind his way through the backdrop to find himself at the edge of the field. He hesitated behind a final stretch of barbed wire, surveying the scene. The moon had risen high in the sky, and in the pale silvery light, he could make out the figure of Sejanus back toward him, still kneeling over Marcus's body. Laminia hadn't stirred. Other than that, the immediate area seemed deserted. Was it deserted, though? The wreckage from the bombings proved ample hiding places. The other tributes could be concealed a few yards away, and he'd never know it. In the chilly air, his sweat-soaked shirt felt clammy against his skin, and he wished for a jacket. He thought of Lucy Gray in her sleeveless dress. Had she curled up against Jessup for warmth? That image didn't sit well with him, so he pushed it away. He could not think of her now, only of his present danger, and of Sejanus, and how to get him to the other side of that turnstile. Coriolanus took a deep breath and stepped out into the field. He padded across the dirt, channeling the circus wildcats that he had seen here as a boy. Fearless, powerful, and silent, he knew that he must not spook Sejanus, but he needed to get close enough to converse with him. When he was 10 feet behind him, he stopped and spoke in a hushed voice. "Hey, Sejanus, it's me." Sejanus stiffened, and then his shoulders began to shake. At first, Coriolanus took it for sobbing, but it was quite the opposite. "You can't stop rescuing me, can you?" Coriolanus joined in that laughter under his breath. "Can't do it. They sent you to fish me out? What madness." Sejanus' laughter trailed off, and he rose to his feet. "Did you ever see a dead body?" "Yeah, a lot of them during the war." He took it as an invitation to join Sejanus and closed in. There. He could grab his arm now, but then what? It was unlikely that he could drag him from the arena. He shoved his hands back down into his pockets instead. "I haven't so much. Not this close anyway. I mean, at funerals, I guess. And at the zoo the other night. Only those girls hadn't been dead that long. Not long enough to stiffen up." Sejanus said, "I don't know if I'd rather be burned or buried. Not that it matters, really." "Well, you don't have to decide that right now." Coriolanus' eyes swept up the field. Was that a person in the shadows behind the broken wall? "Oh, no, it won't be up to me," said Sejanus. "I don't know what's taken the tributes so long to find me. I must have been in here a while." He looked at Coriolanus for the first time, and his brow wrinkled in concern. "You should go, you know." "Yeah, I'd like to," Coriolanus said carefully. Yeah, I really would, only there's the matter of your ma. She's waiting out front, pretty upset. I promised I'd bring you out to her." Sejanus' expression turned indescribably sad. Poor ma. Poor old ma. She never wanted any of this, you know, not the money, not the move, not the fancy clothes or the driver. She just wanted to stay in too. But my father, bet he isn't here, is he? Nah, he'll keep his distance until this is all settled, and then let the buying begin. Buying what? The breeze ruffled Coriolanus' hair and made a hollow echoing sound in the arena. This was taking too long, and Sejanus was making no effort to speak softly. "Well, buying everything, of course. He bought our way out here, bought my schooling, bought my mentorship, and he goes nuts because he can't buy me," said Sejanus. "He'll buy you if you let him, or at least he'll compensate you for trying to help me." "Buy away," thought Coriolanus, thinking of next year's tuition. But he only said, "You're my friend. He doesn't need to pay me to help you." Sejanus laid a hand on his shoulder. "You're the only reason that I've lasted as long as I have, Coriolanus. I need to stop causing you all so much trouble." "I didn't realize how bad this was for you. I should have traded tributes when you asked me to," he answered. Sejanus just sighed. "It doesn't matter anymore. Nothing does, really." "Of course it matters," Coriolanus insisted. They were coming along now. He could feel it, the sense of a pack closing in on him. Can you come out with me?" "Nah, there's no point," said Sejanus. "There's nothing left to do but die." Coriolanus pressed him. "That's it? That's your only choice?" "It's the only way that I might possibly make a statement. Let the world see me die in protest," Sejanus concluded. "Even if I'm not truly capital, I'm not district either. I'm like Lucy Gray, except without the talent." "Do you really think that they're going to show this? They'll just quietly remove your body and they'll say that you died of the flu." Coriolanus stopped wondering if he had said too much. if it had pointed too directly at Clemencia's fate. But it wasn't as if Dr. Gall and Dean Highbottom could even hear him. They've all but blacked out the screen now. Sejanus's face clouded over. They won't show it? Not in a million years. You'll be dead for nothing, and you'll have wasted your chance to make things better. A cough. A small and muffled one, but definitely a cough. It was coming from the stands to his right. Coriolanus had not imagined this. What chance? Asked Sejanus. You have money. I mean, like, maybe not now, but one day you're going to have money. You could have a fortune. Money has a lot of uses. Look how it changed your world. Maybe you could use it to make other changes too, good ones. Maybe if you don't, a lot more people will suffer. Coriolanus's right hand tightened around his pepper spray, and he flitted to his flash unit, which would actually help, maybe, if he was attacked. What makes you think that I could do that? Said Sejanus. Well, you're the only one who had the guts to stand up to Dr. Gall, said Coriolanus. He hated to give him that, but it was true. He was the sole member of the class who had defied her. Thank you. Sejanus sounded tired, but a bit saner. Thank you for saying that. Coriolanus put his free hand on Sejanus's arm, as if comforting him, but it was really to grip his shirt if he decided to run. We're being surrounded. I'm gonna go. Come with me. He could see Sejanus was starting to cave. Please, what do you want to do? Fight the tributes or fight for them? Don't give Dr. Gall the satisfaction of beating you. Don't give up. Sejanus stared down at Marcus for a long moment, weighing his options. You're right, he finally said. If I believe what I say, it's my responsibility to take her down, to end this whole atrocity somehow. He lifted his head, as if suddenly realizing their situation. His eyes turned to the stands where Coriolanus had heard the cough. But I can't leave Marcus. Coriolanus made a snap judgment. All right, I'll get his feet. The legs were stiff and heavy, reeking of blood and filth. But he crooked the knees in his arms as best he could and hoisted Marcus's lower half. Sejanus circled his chest with his arms, and they began to move, half carrying, half dragging the body toward the barricade. 10 yards, 5 yards, not far now, and once they'd cleared it, the peacekeepers could provide some cover. He tripped on a rock and went down, driving his knee into something sharp and piercing, but he sprang back up, heaving Marcus's body with him. Almost there, almost. The footsteps came from behind him, quick and light, speeding from the barricade where the tributes had lain in wait. Coriolanus reflexively dropped Marcus's body and spun around, just in time to see Bobbin bring down his knife. Bobbin's that little boy who tried to end him on the bus. So he's trying to get Coriolanus, which is not surprising, obviously. Not surprising at all. All right. Well, we spent a lot of time catching up, so we just have time for one today. I'm hoping to make base later today for tomorrow's Roll for Slime. I know, seriously, John. I think we have Roll for Slime tomorrow. Pretty sure. So I gotta make base today so we can do that. Are you guys excited for the Disney Blind Box Day? I got some, well, actually, I was about to say I got some really cute pins, but I actually don't know what I got because they're blind boxes, but I got some really cute themes. The boxes are cute, at least. So hopefully what's inside is cute too. Friday is Disney. That's right. Tomorrow's my anniversary, so we're going out to dinner. 100% fine with one chapter day. We need to catch up. Yeah, I agree. We needed to catch up. Yes, tomorrow is our anniversary. So we are going out to dinner tomorrow night with our sweet baby angel. Yes, 5 p.m. Pacific time, Friday, for blind boxes, which is very, very exciting. I don't know what we're going to get. I really don't. I tried to get something from every park we went to, so we would have a bunch of different themes. We have some stuff from Epcot, some stuff from Animal Kingdom, some stuff from Magic Kingdom, you know, so should be good stuff. I got some that are like food themed, some that are ride themed. I have no idea what's in them, obviously. How could I? We're going to open them together. We're not going to open them until the person rolls the number. What I'm basically going to do is just like, so some of them have multiple pins in the box. So what I'm going to do is like put like, let's just pretend it's snacks, whatever. Disney snack box 1, Disney snack box 2, and then
we'll cross them out as we use them, and then, you know, kind of go from there. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I also need to make the slime of the month. I was waiting until I got back so that it didn't melt while I was gone. 1A, 1B, exactly. Yeah, exactly like that. And what? And this month is, as you all know, the rainbow FEMA bomb. So I'm gonna make that today, hopefully. And yeah, that's right. They're gonna be great, Nikki. And Nikki, I think we're gonna have 2 more added, so you probably will be able to hopefully get one of those in. Nikki, if you want to be able, if you tell me when you're able to, if your kids want to do one, because I would owe you stuff anyway. You're obviously owed slime for them. So if you want to let your littles participate in one, we can make that happen. For anyone who didn't know, everyone pretty much voted to forego having Q&A and class this month in honor of having 2 more blind box days. So I haven't scheduled those yet, but the votes are pretty clear that everyone would rather have 2 more blind box days. So that is what we are gonna do. So I'm gonna go have breakfast and get to work because we have a lot to do. I will be answering more DMs, of course, today if anyone needs anything. More, you know, grab bags will go out today. I'll make slime, and then hopefully if it settles by tomorrow, I can pack up the slime of the month by tomorrow, so those can go out with Friday's blind box people if any of them are owed it, among other things. So rock and roll, everybody. I will see you later. I know, seriously, Brittany, I'm so sleepy. Woke up at 5 a.m. All right, see you later, guys. Bye.